Alright, so welcome back to another Flask socket IO tutorial. So today what we're doing is keep building out to our Discord clone. So just in case you don't know what's happening in our Discord clone, by the way, I record this video right after the next one. The one before, I mean. So now you can actually search for a public room. And then, yeah, that's basically it. And then what we'll do today is we will implement the private room functionality. So truly implement the private room. So for example, if I want to create a room now, it's not create room, and then if I just say the private room. This is a private room that only people that I invited can join. So you must be a owner of this room to be able to set, and now you can say it says private, which mean now it's kind of stupid in some way because it's private, so like you cannot message this by you are the owner, which you should obviously need to be able to message. And then so here's what we're going to do. We're gonna finish the private room functionality, and I'm just gonna talk about the plan. So we'll do private room. I think I also said in the teaser we'll do a row so we have like three major things include this one. So it's private room, role checking. So like is this user online, idle? This will be interesting to implement, and the private message. Not gonna be that hard. And then we will do a little bit redesign. Either I do it on my own time or we'll do it together. Alright, so let's go ahead and modify the database a little bit. Specifically, we want to create two databases. First is we want to create a table called user room, and then this basically gonna get user ID, and then room ID, varchar 10, row varchar 20. So run the SQL command, and I spell table wrong. Okay, so let me explain what's happening here. So this is basically like once user enter a room, and then by the way, they cannot be anonymously into room anymore. So since they cannot be, I'm just gonna say add login required here. Alright. So now you can see we'll create a new room in here, user room. This is going to keep track who joined which room. And then what we'll do is gonna create a room called invitation. So user will know that they get invited. So you're gonna say invitation ID, email, and then we'll also talk about how do you set email. So this is also gonna be a long video. Varchar 10. Alright. So now what will happen is we have two new tables. I think I really should rename it to invitations, but yeah, I'm gonna rename it to invitations. Then what we'll do is, let's see, I'm just gonna rename it to invitation. Save invitations. Okay. All right. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead first is add row to a user as they join. So if the room is not private, so we'll leave it for private for now, and then what we'll say is c.execute insert into user room, and then we'll say user ID, room ID, row. And then we'll say values. So since if they did something like this, so I will check first is if he is not the owner of the room. So we'll say owner equals c.execute. We'll say if c.execute select so first is we'll select from user roam. So we'll say select user roam excuse me for that noise. I don't know why that happened. User roam, and then first is we'll say where roam ID equals RID, and we store user ID equals UID, and then we'll go say UID RID is just roam ID, UID is session get, which you can use bracket notations. This is just a dictionary. User ID dot fetch all bracket 0 dot fetch all. So if I'm just gonna say length of this huge thing is equals to 0. That means it doesn't exist. Then we'll go to this. Then we'll go and say values user ID, so UID, RID, and then row. Row by default we're just gonna say user. And then conduct commit. So now what's happening is we're checking if the user is not the owner of this room, or if the user already is a user of this room, then we will say if it's not already a user of this room, and then we'll go ahead add this to a user of the room, and then we're just gonna say let's get the socket somewhere. Alright, so we're gonna say emit show message. We are just gonna say gonna copy this as well. So we're gonna go ahead and send them a broadcast saying, okay, this person has joined. So I'm gonna say insert into messages, message author, roam timestamp values, blah 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 blah. And then this is gonna be welcome, and then we're gonna say username. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit complicated. So username equals c.execute. Select star from users. Select username. Let's just say select username from users where user ID was ID session get user ID. Okay, we're not gonna worry about broadcast right now. And let's go ahead and push it here. We only want to do all of this if the user is not already a user. Alright, so now what I will say now is welcome dot fetch all 0 0. I'm just gonna use f string here. Welcome. I'm gonna use this timestamp function. So And then I'm just gonna say username here. Username. Author is auto. Bot. Let's just say bot. That sounds interesting. Roam ID is just roam ID. T is timestamp. Con.comments. Should I have one there? Alright, and now let's go ahead and emit this message. So I think we can do this. So we're just gonna say emit show message. Message is F here, and then we're just gonna say welcome. Username. And now it should all work. So now if I take a look, so I'm just gonna delete all the room for now. Alright. Let's now go ahead and no, I delete the room. Alright, so I'm gonna go create room. And I forget to write changes. Because it's DB Circulite 3 journal saying. If that appears, that's me. Alright, let's give it a sec to let it start running. It's really messy, I would say. But it should be better if you're using a computer to watch this. I'm gonna actually first log out first. Come on. What's wrong with you? This DB SQLite, did I not do it correctly? Keep telling me it's refused to connect. Alright, let's refresh. Zero point 0.02000. Alright, it works now. Let's go ahead and log out first. And prompt me to log back in. And then I will make sure that I use this dev example.com dev. Alright, prompt me to here. Harder. Cognito up. Alright, so now what I would do is, let me do a split screen here. Alright, so now let me go ahead log back in. 2000. And then there was me at example.com. public room for chat, and then public submit SQL operation error. Then set your column user room. Select yeah, select star from. Alright. Did it get committed? I hope it doesn't. Well, it does, so I'm gonna delete this. I have to try again. Alright, so this is dev. This is me. Not again, come on. Okay, that should work. Alright, prompt me to log in. No. Okay. So create room name, public room. Feel free to chat in this public room. Public, submit, and then what? Database is a public room. Feel free to chat whatever you want. Aussies. Okay. Just gonna copy this. Comments. Looks good, looks good. Let's take a look at Rome. Delete this. Right change. Try again. The reason I don't want editing these videos is because I want you to see like what happened when we do some real programming stuff like that. So it's gonna take extremely long, but you realize that like half of the time, especially when doing the coding challenge, half the times like when I try to solve a problem stuck too hard. Yeah. Alright, we're back. Let's create a public room. Feel free to chat in this public room. It's public. Oh my god. What the heck is this? Request has no namespace. What do you mean? Request object has no attribute namespace. Okay, it looks like how probably I cannot emit this for some reason. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it looks like I cannot do this. Yeah, it looks like I can't. Scrumberg. This dude is cool. Oh, socket.io 65. Thank you very much. Alright. Are we supposed to refresh? Okay. So I'm going to constantly delete and modify the database. So welcome, dev. That's great. But what do I want to do instead? Now, if I try to join this room, I can say public. Right? No similar name. What's the room name? Public room, yeah. Just public room. I'll just search for room. Okay. What? Oh my god, seriously? Public. I saw this thing, I got this thing to work, but I don't really get this thing to work. You know what, we'll fix it later. Okay, this public. Let's go try to refresh. Now I can say welcome, that is me. Comes in here. And now what I can say is hello. Yeah, now it works. And then what I want to do is we actually want to prompt a owner when it's start create a room. So in here, what we will say before we redirect them to the room, what we will say is update search for public. Alright, I'm gonna make a little bit minor modification. So in here, what I will say is actually copy all this. User roam. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna copy all of this. And then what I will say is paste it to here. Oh. The part I hate about Python the most is about its indentation thing. I know it's good, but I know it's good. I know it's good, but we still need to fix something here. Is it in a while loop? What the hell is in a while loop? Okay. Now let's go indent all this, all these, all these, all these. Alright. So now we'll only change this to owner. Later found how helpful that is. And then let's go ahead and delete this. So delete this record. Delete these records. User is fine. I'm gonna delete all these records. Alright, now if we try again. Okay. Right change. And try again. Let's give it a sec. Alright, so we still have a lot of stuff need to do. So we got this thing to work. Arrow to a user. Now what we need to say is invite to join private room. Alright, let's take a look. Room not found. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, so now what we'll go ahead and implement is the private room functionality. So invite to join a private room. So notice that in this here, I actually don't need this anymore, I think. So, in private room, so it's located at, it's too big. I cannot even get this right. I don't think we need this as well, so that's gonna make our life easier. Okay, so you can see if room bracket 0 bracket 3, which means the status is private, then we're gonna return private room. Now I'm gonna actually start to handle this part. So we're gonna start by create a variable called private. This is gonna be a boolean value, so private is false unless private is true, which we'll specify here. Alright, next what we will do is we'll go ahead check is it a private room or not. And now we will go ahead and I don't need this anymore. Alright, so now in here I will also pass a private parameter. Alright, let's go ahead and create a new template. Actually no, which is going to build onto this message template. And then we will say if private equals to true, just in case the Ginger doesn't like about like Python can just say if private, which means private is true. I don't can generally do that, but just in case can't, this is how we're gonna do it. So we're gonna say for method equals to post don't action. Do we specify any action here? No. So if you do specify any action, by default the action is just gonna be the URL both. And now what we will say is label for invite. Gonna say invite people to join your private server. By default, only the person, if we will check is it the owner in the post request. So when the form actually gets submitted, we'll check it's the owner, because only the owner can invite. So say invite people to your private room. Run capitalization, stuff like that. I know. Text area. What do we say now? Is class form control. ID is invite. And then I think name is also invite, if I remembered it correctly. Then let me see. Invite people to join private room, private form control. Okay, this is even worse. And then row equals 3, right? I think it's either row or call. I will double check on that. And now it should work. So if I'm going to go ahead and create a private server, and then I'm gonna say private room secrets, and then I'm gonna say private. Good. So now I can say invite people to join your room, and now what I will say is button type to submit, and now we'll say go ahead and submit. And now we refresh. Looks good. So now let me just add a BR between these two, just in case. We need some line space. Okay, doesn't make tons of difference, but that's our basic layout for now. So now you need to have a specific invite to join, which is going to be the relatively the hardest thing I'm going to implement in this video, which is why we dedicate the whole video to this topic. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about how to actually invite people. So now if I submit this form, because I don't have a post request for here, so now what I will say is I will also request, so I can say both get and post is also fine. So method equals to get post here, and then I will say if request dot method equals to post. I'll go ahead pass. Not the global, just pass. Otherwise, all right, let me go ahead and select all. All right, looks pretty decent. All right, so now what I will do is first is they're gonna use out by separate by a comma, which I think we should mention here. So we will say separate by comma. Separate by a single comma. All right. So now here, first is we will split into different string. So we will know who do we invite. So invite equals to request.form.get invite.split based on a single comma. This is gonna give us a list that all is split based on the comma. So like all the emails were username. So user can submit email were username, which I consider is pretty good. And then now what I would say now is then I would go ahead and wait a minute, what am I doing here? You cannot. Why if it's not? Okay, the first thing we will check is this a private server? So we'll say roam equals to c.execute, select star from rooms where room ID equals RID. And then in here, what I will specify the value, which is room ID here. Looks good. So this is the invite. And then let's go say dot fetch all. So this is gonna get invite. So this is gonna get the room that user is in, at least sending this, and then we will say if room bracket 0 bracket 3 equals to private. So this means that if the user is not, wait, I mean to say it's not, yeah. If it's not a private, that means it's either an unlisted room or private room. I'm gonna say return. You can't explicitly, that's wrong way to spell it. Invite people unless it's your own private server or room. Otherwise, we will check is this the owner. So we will say user equals c.execute, select star from user room where room ID equals RID and user ID equals to UID colon here and row equals owner, and then I'm gonna go ahead and provide RID and UID. All right. So this gonna basically tells us, is this user, so is the owner of this private server? That's basically what's happening here. And then if so, which I would check first. So if length equals 0, that means, yeah, this person is not owner for this private server. And then I would say, return, you cannot explicitly invite people unless it's your private room. Alright, so now this part is going to be a little bit complicated. It's actually how invite works. So what we will say is for I in invite. So we're just gonna get the person he want to invite, and then we will say while true. So this is a while loop invitation ID. Actually, I'm thinking just simplify this process. Probably don't have to do that. Just get the user ID. Alright. So what we'll say now is we'll say first is for I in invite to loop through anyway. And then what if user provide wrong value? Then we will go ahead and tell them. So basically we will add this to here. So first we need to get the user ID. User ID equals to c.execute. This is not this whoever sent the form, but the person that sent the form that want to invite people. Okay, what do I want to say? C.execute select star from users where email equals email, because he can use both email or the username. So just use a val for value equals val, and then let's just say val bracket I. That looks good. Fetch. Okay. And then we'll say if length. We can use a try catch, but I will use this equals 0. Then we'll return person not found. And to make it a little bit clearer, I'll say I not found. Alright, looks great here. And now, what we will say is we're going to add this to the row. So we're going to say c.execute insert into user room where room private equals true. So we need also add on to that. So person not found, and then I will say then insert into user at roam where roam not where, so user ID roam ID row values UID RID. He only can be a user. So it's not gonna be that complicated. Like you can set different role like admin, stuff like that. But that's definitely a potential that you can customize your own. Feel free to comment below with your GitHub link that you want to show it to us. I want to make sure I didn't do any insert. No. Alright. UID is going to be user ID bracket 0 bracket 0. And then RID is going to be room ID, which provided above, and then we can say, yeah, that's how we need to provide. And then just say conduct comment, make sure comment the change. And we will do that for every single user. What you can consider an add-on is to send email. Probably will do it later. And then I will, if it's success, now we'll just say return successfully invited all people on your list. And now we are done. Yeah, so that's gonna simplify a lot of process. We don't need to do this anymore. All right, so the last thing is we need to check what happens if does the user have right to access this page. So we will say right access equal to c.execute select star from user roam where user equals to UID and roam ID user ID roam ID equals to RID, and then we will say UID is session.getUserID. Sometimes we use bracket notation. I don't know which one I prefer. But and RID is going to be roam ID. Private equals to true. Everything looks fantastic, as far as I believe. And I forgot these programs. Dot fetch all. And then we will say if length of access is 0. So we don't care which row it is, as long as it's in the database, that means it's true. So we'll say return 44. So this is gonna be a 44 page, which is gonna say not found. Otherwise, it's all good. All right, so let's actually try this out. All right, so the next big thing we need to do is the final two things we need to do is private messaging. Markdown formatting is fine because we can just add some library. I don't want we can use regex if you want to, but we can just use regular expression if you just wanna. Roam. This is a private room. Not only people can join private. All right. You can say bot said welcome dev. And they're gonna invite people. Let's just invite dev this meet to join. Okay. So something wrong here. Wait, does that mean he already? No, I should return something. No, it's not like it's a message. To dictionary, submit. That's seriously because I didn't add action. I said we don't need to have action. We still need to specify it. Action. Dev is me. Okay, let's just say /room/ the parameter here, say room ID. I still don't have to specify that. I don't think it's gonna work, so for some reason. It doesn't work. Get submit. Yeah. Now the right is going to be super crowded. Yep, super crowded. Okay, lost our connection. Now it should be back on. Let's take a look on elements. Since we are on here, I'm just gonna check it anyway to make sure. Yeah, it looks good. Why this doesn't work? Button type equals submit form. Oh, okay. This is outside of that form. That's probably why. And then we expect a huge chunk of error. So now it's time for debug. I'm not sure about anything I did. That is me. Whoa, well, that was going pretty good. And we have that. So now if you go ahead and refresh this page. And now drawing. Whoops. Okay, I don't know why Google said, but alright. So now, oh, okay, great. Hi. But as you can see, if it's private, doesn't show a drawing. So it should say drawing welcome. Like I said here, welcome dev, but doesn't say welcome dev is me. So oh, okay. So yeah, this is an issue actually. So we'll leave it for now. But now you can say we get it to work. So if I will try to create a private room, just say this is a private room that nobody can join. Ha ha ha. Now I'm gonna set it to private. Private, there we go. Well, wait, what? Oh, this is a big bug. This is such a big bug. It's a big bug. I don't. Hi. I will, so now I'll get the private room to work, but, I mean, the message shouldn't get saved. Yeah, the message didn't get saved, but that's how we broadcast a message. So, yeah. We need to fix how the messages get broadcast, so it's not broadcast to every client that even you didn't connect to the room. But for now, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more with Flask and Socket.io. And thanks for watching.